just buy government bonds. In fact, I'm not allowed to tell you that either. Go see a financial advisor. They've been to uni for 4 years and they really know what you should do with your money. In fact, I'm allowed to say this because this is my opinion, right? I believe that some financial advisors will be switched on and they'll think for themselves, right? So if you're a financial advisor and you think for yourself, this isn't at you, but it's at the other majority, let's say. Majority will probably annoy people, but I think that financial advisors don't have a clue, and the reason I think they don't have a clue is that they are being taught from a book what to basically tell people to do with their money. Who writes the book? The government write the book. Does the government want all the people to be rich and leave the country? No, they don't. So a financial advisor is basically just telling you what the government wants you to do. Get a pension, buy government bonds, like all that nonsense. No financial advisor or financial advisors that go by the book will never tell you to invest in crypto, ever. Crypto is the best performing asset of the last decade. It's the best performing asset of the last 4 years. It's the number 7 asset by market cap on the planet. Bitcoin is bigger than silver. Bitcoin is valued at $1.4 trillion. But financial advisors won't tell you to buy it. They'll say it's too risky. My guy, Bitcoin has been here for 14 years. And it is the most profitable asset in the world. The best performing asset in the world. Why you tell me not to buy that, but go buy government bonds and make 2% when inflation's 12%? Financial advisors make you lose money. It's probably rattling a few cages. People are like, that's not right. I'm a financial advisor. But they're just they might know that book like the back of their hands that they're being taught in university. But just remember who writes that book and what the intentions of the people who write that book are. That's why you should learn from people rather than learning from the government, because you don't know the intentions behind it. So although I can't tell you to buy crypto, I can't tell you anything positive about crypto because it's illegal or whatever the regulations are. If you want to know the regulations, go check the FCA's website. So although I can't speak about crypto in that light and I can't say a word and my hands are tied, what I can say is financial advisors don't have a clue unless they've experienced it in their own life and actually manage money for themselves. If they're just telling you what it says in a textbook, the textbooks are wrong, intentionally wrong, to keep you in the system, to keep you working till you're 70 years old. So it's not a dig at financial advisors, it's a dig at the people who do the curriculum for a financial advisor course. And that's why I'm not allowed to give you any financial advice, because I would rather the best for you. I want you to become financially free. So I'm censored. I'm not allowed to say a word. Don't speak about crypto, because people actually make money off that. So you're banned from speaking about crypto. But the financial advisor, they can tell you to go buy bonds because they've got a signature on a bit of paper that says they can tell you that information because we gave them it. Look, I've got a bit of paper here that the government gave me to say that I can tell you what to buy. So you should go buy government bonds. You should get a pension. But I need to put tape over my mouth and I'm not allowed to say a word about crypto, or else I'll get the jail. Financial advisors get paid on commission. They're incentivized to sell you certain products regardless of the benefits. My financial advisor lost me money last year on my pension, a 0.5% loss. It's a scam. The full system is a scam. financial advisors are agents of the scam to put you deeper into the scam. If you want a financial advisor, get a private one. Get a rich person that's navigated the world and got themselves rich. Don't go on fucking Google and get a financial advisor, because they're going to put you in a pension that's a load of nonsense, government bonds that are a load of nonsense, and just be so by the book, literally by the book. They are being taught by the government what to tell you to do with your money. And if COVID told anybody anything, do you think the government really wants what's best for you? Eat out to help out during the deadliest virus ever. Go out and get fast food and we'll give you 50% off. So, if you're a financial advisor, I get it. Your hands are tied. You're told by the government, this is what you should tell people to invest in. Understand that. It's nothing against the people. It's the system itself that's a scam. And people in the chat are proving me right. Next door's getting in by the SEC. And it'll be even worse in America. Even worse. Financial advisors in America will be insane. So that's how it really works. The people like me are not allowed to speak about anything financial. That's why we need to say not financial advice, not financial advice, not financial advice, because it's illegal for us to do that. The only people who aren't censored and the only people who get the green light from the government is people who go through the government's course. The government say, okay, if you want to go through our course, our financial advisory course, we'll give you a certificate that allows you to tell people what to invest in. But you need to do our course first. And what does our course consist of? A load of garbage, like pensions and bonds. It's all a big scam. But not financial advice. So yeah, apologies financial advisors, but that's just my humble opinion. Don't listen to what I say. I'm just a random guy on the internet. I've not got a clue. I wonder if on a financial, I might do a financial advisor's course just for a laugh to see what sort of stuff that gets promoted. Because I bet you they don't even mention gold. The only hard, safe, secure, sound asset ever. And I bet you it's not even included. And the reason why it won't be included is because the government can't make any money off it. The government can't get a cut. So the safest, soundest, most secure, solid, hard, real money, the only hard, real money on the planet, and I can guarantee you it will not be promoted by financial advisors. By the book financial advisors. Obviously you'll get financial advisors who think for themselves and they say, look mate, Bitcoin's been the best performing asset in the last 14 years. You should probably allocate about 10%, 20% of your overall portfolio into Bitcoin. You should also allocate about 20% of your overall portfolio into gold because it's solid. If everything else goes tits up, at least you've got your gold. Then you can diversify, you can go into property. That's what a financial advisor who thinks for themselves will say. But you'll get the ones that, the book told me to get bonds, so get bonds. Get a pension. Pensions are really good. They're dead behind the eyes. They're dead behind the eyes. They're just reading nonsense off a book. They're the most dangerous people who just read stuff off a book and they don't actually compute it in their own head first. I read it on the government's book, so it's true. Well, how did that go in 2020, 2021? When you just blindly listen to the government, how did that go? But anyone who did think for themselves in 2020, 2021, they seen right through it. They were like, That's a pile of nonsense. I'm not doing that. So, aye, bit of a rant, but it's true. It is true. It is facts. If you've got a financial advisor, somebody in the chat there just says they're down 0.5% because of their financial advisor, but actually they're down over 10% because you've got inflation as well. So if you're not making at least 8 to 10% a year on your assets, you're losing money. So by your financial advisor returning you 0.5%, they're actually returning you 10.5%, minus 10.5%. So if you've got a financial advisor, chuck them in the bin. How much do they even charge? Can somebody tell me that? I'd love to know. Because a family member of mine had a financial advisor a few years ago, and they told me about it, and basically the financial advisor never had a clue about money or business or anything, but they had a qualification, and then they can go advise people. It's mind-blowing. But how much is a financial advisor? Can somebody give me some numbers on it? I'd love to see. Obviously they make affiliate commissions, but well, Chloe in the chat, Chloe is highly, so Chloe's an amazing example, right? Chloe is a highly educated individual that I think's done almost every high course you can do. Financial advising, banking, you name it, Chloe's done them all. But Chloe is one of the people who I explained think for themselves. So Chloe does all these things, she goes through the roles, but she also thinks for herself, and at the same time as learning, she's saying, I'm learning this, but that's a load of nonsense. And that is the difference between someone who thinks and someone who just reads blindly. And Chloe's obviously done a financial advisory course as well, and she's saying, don't bother, it's boring. You're correct, it's all about bonds. Wow. Oh, I bet you could win the 1 million jackpot on the bonds. I know, I forgot about that. The bonds is like a lottery. It's mad. Oh, right, so Jack got a 5% pay rise this year. So, yeah, 5% pay rise. Let's say inflation is, the last few years, it's been minimum 10%. The government move around the figures a bit and remove things from the basket of goods to adjust inflation to something that's a bit more acceptable. But real inflation is like at least 10%, let's be honest. So by getting a 5% pay rise one year, you're still down about 5% from the year previous because of inflation. Your financial advisor won't tell you that. Why not? Because the government don't tell them that in the course. The government tell them that inflation's good. Inflation will cause more productivity in the economy. Inflation is really good. You should like inflation. That's what the government tell you. That's what the government tell accountants. They tell financial advisors. Anybody that deals with money, that is what the government tell them. Inflation is good. If you read a textbook from the government university, they're all the same thing. It says inflation is good. That tells you everything you need to know. Inflation is the reason why you can't afford a house, you can't afford anything, you can't afford rent, you can't afford food. The reason you can't afford all of these things, I can't afford all of these things, everybody in the UK is struggling, is because of inflation. The same in America, the same everywhere. Inflation is killing everybody. Everybody's purchasing power is degrading to zero in real time. The last few years, inflation has been easily 10% and above. Even in 2020, let's be honest, inflation was probably really like 50%. If you think about wood, steel, petrol, food, gas, electricity, all of them were up. Well, the building materials were up over 100%, 200%, and they've not came back down. So real inflation, the government says 4% or 6%, whatever it is, but it's really like 50%. So if you don't get a 50% wage increase, you're 50% poorer than you were last year. And that has been happening year after year and it's been accelerated the last 4 years with money printing. This is why I invest in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is deflationary, the absolute opposite from fiat currency. Fiat currency is inflationary. They print more and more and more, which makes the value go down. Bitcoin is the opposite. They produce less and less and less, and the value goes up. Pounds and dollars is unlimited. They can print it to infinity. Bitcoin is limited, a hard limit, a hard cap, 21 million ever. That is why the value of those 21 million will always increase. Not financial advice, check the FCA's website, blah, blah, blah. I would say the reason I get passionate when I speak about these things is because I've got family members, I've got friends who break their backs working for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and they still can't afford life because of inflation, because the currency system that they use is broken, it's flawed, it's built to be against the person who is using it. That is why I get so passionate. Because you can work as hard as you want, but if you're still using this inflationary currency and you don't beat inflation, you're getting poorer. You can work as hard as you work every hour under the sun. You'll have heard that as well, that the woman down the road, she's got 3 jobs or 4 jobs, but she still can't make ends meet. That's not because she doesn't work hard enough. That's because inflation has absolutely destroyed her. It's destroyed the purchasing power of that currency. The minimum wage of £12, whatever it is, that £12 isn't really £12 anymore. That same £12 from 5 years ago, the purchasing power is maybe like £3 now. So what £12 got you 5 years ago, you're lucky if £3 can get you it today. Which is why I do Bitcoin, which is why I do cryptocurrency. It's one of the only things that you can opt out of that broken system. You go to a financial advisor, they will not tell you a word about that. They'll say, oh, inflation's been good this year. The government quoted 4%, that's good. That's really good for the economy. It brings the economy up, gets the country on its feet, inflation's good. Government bonds, you can make about 5%. So if inflation's 4%, you can make 5%. You can make, easily 1% a year, which is really good returns in this market. That'll be £500, please. It's all a scam. But anyway,